Hey, Patriots. So here we are on Thursday, the 4th of June, getting ready to do the response to the question of the week. Before I get to the responses, I want to kind of talk through that draw drill that I did on Monday's video on the question of the week. I'm going to kind of walk through that kind of step by step, give you guys an idea of what it is that hopefully you caught when you were watching that, other than me shooting. So I'm going to step over here, and then what I'm going to do is kind of by the numbers. So the first thing we're going to do is there's going to be a threat response. Our body's going to naturally kind of crunch down like this, what I call a grappler's response position, right? You're just beginning to square up to the threat and you're going to get down, right? What you're going to do first after that is you're going to get that grip on your firearms, right? So whether you're carrying somewhere else on your body, inside the waistband, outside the waistband, that's what you have to practice with to get consistent with it. Secondary only to your brain being prepared for a threat response, a critical defense activity, is getting a good grip on that firearm. Right, you got to make sure that you have that hand on there. You've got the webbing of the thumb really high up in that back strap. With a holster, that gives you a chance to really push down and bear down and get that really solid and tight. You wrap your fingers around the grip. Index finger is going to index along about where your trigger would be when you draw, and your thumb is going to be out of the way. When you draw out of the holster, you're going to come straight up and out. As soon as you're clear, that's step one. Step two, draw out. Step three, just drop, right? Just pretend like you got a pin going through your wrist and into your rib if you're drawing from a 3 o'clock. Right? You just drop down. So if I had to engage my target right now, I'm squared up to it, I could pull the trigger and put a round into it. Next, you're going to come across and you're going to join those hands together. You're going to get the support hand onto the firearm and get it wrapped in nice and tight. So when you're coming out of the holster, what do I do with this support hand? That's going to kind of be up to you. I tend to bring mine in close, so it's ready that when I come across, I'm joining in right here and I'm getting everything tight. Right? Some people come up, right? Kind of depends on what your threat is. If you're right on top of your threat, you might have your hand up here to protect your head. Right? So it's going to be situational. For me, I come in nice and tight so that when I bring this hand in, I'm getting that second hand in what would be the high compressed ready, right up close to your chest. Right? If everything is square, like I said, I could take a shot from here on my target if I needed to. When I come in tight here, I could still take a shot if I had to. Next is I'm going to be down here, so when I press out, I'm going to bring the gun right up into my line of sight. So I'm not up here and then dropping my head. The gun comes up into my line of sight. All right? So I'm going to make this ready. We're going to squeeze off a few shots. So there's a threat. And then reholster. So I'll do it one more time. There's a threat. Up, out, down, across. And then anytime you're done shooting, always check clear, right? If you're by yourself, make sure you look down and you see light. You check the chamber, make sure there's nothing in there. If you got more than one person with you, always have a buddy check clear to make sure that your weapon is clear. We always want to be safe when we're on the range. Now, we talked about the question of the week. So the question of the week last week was, if a violent encounter suddenly unfolds in a crowded public place, how difficult do you think it would be to distinguish between the innocent people fleeing, people reacting emotionally, and the actual threat moving methodologically or intentionally? So it's going to be a lot of chaos, and along with the chaos of the scene unfolding, people running, people freezing, right? You've got to know what you're going to be doing. Have you been training? Do you have a plan? Do you have muscle memory? Do you have that neural network established so that when something like that happens, you respond appropriately, right? it's going to be hard to determine who's doing what. But if you are calm and you can think about what's going on, look at the situation, you can pretty easily start to identify who's the bad guy in that situation. And then now what do I do next? You fall back on that training, that muscle memory. Right? Hopefully you guys never find yourself in that situation, but if you do, I hope you've been practicing, and I hope you've been working on your draw strokes so you can be efficient and smooth and fast when you're doing that. And remember, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So hopefully you guys got something out of this week's question of the week and the response, and a little bit of training drill. I'm going to try and incorporate more training drills into these videos just to give you guys a little something extra to watch instead of just me yapping at you. But what really helps, if you guys give me responses to the question of the week, it gives me more information and more stuff to talk about on these responses. When I do any of the other videos, the more you guys provide me input, it gives me more to respond to. And that's kind of what this is all about. It's intended to be a conversation between myself and you guys. Just because I'm an instructor, it doesn't mean that I know everything. You guys might share some information or ask a question or provide feedback that is something I haven't come across, or something you guys have maybe actually done. So I'm always learning every day, and any good instructor should recognize that they should be learning every day. As always, do me a favor, like, follow, share. Always share. I would say sharing is almost more important than liking and following, because we don't know how far this reach could go and who might watch this, and it might be something that saves their life someday. So please smash those buttons, like, follow, share, and it just helps the pages grow and develop. I don't know how these algorithms work. I'm new to this myself. I'm good with the shooting part, but this whole tech stuff, this is something new. So give me some feedback, some thumbs up. Let me know how I'm doing. If you got some experience doing this stuff, I'm always open to pointers. All right. Thank you, guys. You have a good night and a good, safe weekend.